My heaviest was probably 485. Right out of college, there was just terrible habits of eating and drinking. And I just took the being a big guy as my role, because I've always been the big guy. About 3 or 4 years ago, it was a scary moment. I had a heart attack. And I was in the hospital for 2 days. No one knew I was in the hospital. And I currently have 3 stents. Beginning of the year, I had really bad pain going down the sciatic nerve, and just in pain, didn't sleep for 5 days, and finally went to see a doctor and had an MRI done, and then we discovered I had a herniated disc along with spinal stenosis in 2 parts of my lower lumbar. So that was the 3rd doctor in the line of many doctors that told me, you need to get some weight off of your frame. Right around May of last year, I went and I saw a gastric-bypass surgeon because I thought this has got to change, and this was the answer. But a really good friend of mine challenged me, and he asked me, have you done everything physically possible to lose the weight? And I realized maybe I haven't. Maybe I've been lying to myself that I haven't given a really good go at becoming fit physically the natural way.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start back here. Let's go into a squat position, okay? Here we go, on my cue, down and up, down, up. A little more control on the way down, Al.
Dorian asked me to come in to work with him one-on-one and not necessarily join the regular beginner's class, just to see where I was physically.
When he came in, we talked on the phone first, and when he first spoke on the phone, I could tell he was very hesitant, normal, and I just told him, we gotta meet first, let's meet, and I'll let you know if I think, this is gonna be a good fit for you, and that we can help you, or if we need to go a different route, or I can lead you to a different route. When you extend your hips and your knees up simultaneously, okay? Here we go, full extension and up.
He listened. I think that was one of the big things. Like, I've been to other types of gyms, and they just take your measurements and you need to do this, do that, do this. But this was a very different experience. It was like sitting down and having a conversation with a friend.
He was at a crossroads. He's going to either continue to go down this downward trend, or he's going to make a change in his life and progress forward.
I admitted to him that this is probably a cry for help. So Dorian basically said, I want to help you. Brother, I want to help you, but you got to show up and do the work. When I finished my first WOD here, that was such a good feeling. It was so momentous, because when I first started, I wasn't finishing workouts.
From a physical standpoint, nothing surprises me with what he's been able to progress and do and everything like that. The light bulb clicked on for him, and I remember that day when he came in and he realized that he could do it.
So my competitiveness now comes in, that there's like a new person that comes in. My mind automatically goes, don't let them beat you. You've been doing this for a while, they haven't. Don't let them beat you.
I was gonna use your last name, but then I was like, man, I can't pronounce this clear. So I was like, no, we're just gonna go Al. All right, so what we did is we took a couple of Al's favorite movements, power cleans and deadlifts, and then we took his least favorite movement, burpees, and we made that into a workout.
Just the encouragement of checking in, whether it was a text or whether it was an email, or sometimes I get a phone call after a hard workout. It was that sense of someone wants to see me do well and succeed.
It's really the community aspect of our members, taking them in and also aiding him and encourage him every day.
As soon as I left the beginner's class and joined the regular class, strangers walked up and cheered me on. People who don't know you yet, they recognize why you're there. And they come in and they want to see you be your best, no matter what it is. I started CrossFit at 422 pounds, and I am down 154 pounds, currently weighing at 268 pounds. I'm about 18 pounds away from my goal. I've been ill for so long. right? Like obesity, I look at it as sickness, if you will. And I've been sick for so long that I think I owe it to myself to get well. For my cardiologist, he's pretty elated of where we are at. Sleep apnea, I probably have to test out of it. I can sleep without the machine now and not feel groggy. Knee pain just kind of went away. Ankle pain, just same thing. My primary care physician, she's super happy, and we've been talking about this for years. And you know, she says, I don't know what clicked, but I'm glad it clicked, and I'm glad, you know, you didn't go through the gastric bypass route. Like, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago if I would be 154 pounds down, no, I couldn't see that. That was just unimaginable, unfathomable at that very first day walking in and doing this with Dwayne.
I want to see more people like Al that have the initiative to make that change, right? They got to make that decision. We were there to support Al. Al took that support and did something with it.